Hello everyone. Today I will be presenting my research article summary on the study by Lindgren and colleagues titled A Randomized Controlled Trial of Functional Communication Training via Telehealth for Young Children with Autism Spectrum Disorder. And let's go to the next slide. So many children with autism display challenging behaviors such as aggression, self-injury, or severe non-compliance, which can interfere with learning and daily life. The functional communication training, also short for FCT, is an evidence-based ABA intervention that teaches individuals to replace challenging behaviors with that of appropriate communication. Because many families have limited access, however, to the ABA services, researchers wanting to explore whether telehealth could make this intervention more accessible. After recognizing the need for more accessible treatment, the researchers designed the study to evaluate whether functional communication training delivered through telehealth was overall effective. They wanted to determine whether parents could successfully implement FCT with remote coaching, whether children's challenging behaviors would decrease, and whether appropriate communication skills would overall increase. They also compared an immediate treatment group with a delayed treatment group to evaluate the overall effectiveness of the intervention itself. For the participants, this study initially included 56 young children who were referred because of autism and severe challenging behaviors, and upon completing the evaluations, 51 children were diagnosed with autism and 38 children completed the randomized trial. The participants ranged from ages 21 to 84 months old and displayed behaviors such as aggression, self-injury, and severe non-compliance. For the setting, the intervention took place in each child's home instead of a clinic. The parents were responsible for implementing the treatment, while behavior analysis provided coaching and feedback through the telehealth sessions. This approach made the intervention more accessible for families who may not have local ABA services within their area. For the procedures, the study began with the functional analysis to identify why each child's challenging behavior took place. After determining the function of the behavior, parents were taught to use FCT. Instead of engaging in problematic behavior, however, children learned appropriate communication responses, such as requesting attention, having a break, or accessibility to their preferred items of choice. Parents received ongoing coaching throughout the intervention. For the dependent variables, the researchers measured overall 3 primary outcomes throughout the course of the study. They recorded the frequency of the challenging behaviors, the number of appropriate communication requests, which were also known as MANs, and each child's overall ability to complete the task at hand successfully. These measures ultimately allowed the researchers to evaluate both behavior reduction and communication improvement as well. So upon seeing the results, the results were overall very encouraging. The children who received immediate treatment showed about a 98% reduction in the challenging behaviors. Their communication skills also improved, and they completed more tasks appropriately. once the delayed treatment group received the intervention. They also experienced similar improvements. Parents were also reporting high satisfaction with the telehealth approach. So ultimately, like, these findings were crucial because they demonstrated that the evidence-based ABA service can be delivered successfully through the telehealth system. Families who live in the rural areas or who do have difficulty accessing the behavior analysts may still receive the high-quality services thanks to telehealth. The study also showed that parents can effectively implement the interventions when they receive appropriate coaching. One strength of the study is that it used a randomized controlled trial, which is considered one of the strongest research designs. Another strength is the relatively large sample size compared to many other ABA studies. And lastly, the researchers included follow-up data displaying that improvements were maintained after the treatment was over. For the limitations, although the results were positive, there were some limitations. The successful participation depended primarily on parents being actively involved and having reliable internet access as well. In addition to this, some families may require more support compared to others to implement treatment correctly. And due to these factors, the findings may not generalize to every family, from one family to another. So for conclusion, this study provides overall a strong evidence that FCT delivered via telehealth is an effective intervention for young children with autism. It significantly reduced the challenging behaviors and increased the appropriate communication and improved access to the evidence-based treatment for families who may otherwise face barriers to care. And this is just like the reference, and thank you for listening. Take care.